George Barratt, I'm the ex-Labour councillor in Dagenham, and I was asked to volunteer as a council candidate against the BNP in 2010. The assumption was I wouldn't be elected, but I was, and I've been learning about local government ever since. Now, what I've been appalled at is, I'm just taking up the issue that Eleanor raised earlier in Waltham Forest, and the way these local councils run. Because on the one hand, I found that the Labour group was not discussing the cuts in terms of defending the people who elected them. They were talking about what would be inconvenient in terms of local libraries because they would not get elected again. And that was the basis on which these decisions were being discussed in the Labour group. And anyway, I was somewhat disenchanted. And what happened was that I wrote a letter to the local paper, on some quite straightforward issue. And anyway, I was hauled in front of the Democratic Services Manager and the Standards Officer, who was a solicitor, said, look, you cannot do this. The Council Constitution says you can't do this. Anything like this has got to go in front of the press officer, or go to the Council Cabinet, and if they approve, then this will go out under their signature. Okay, so shut up, right? That was the way that these people were leaning on me. I wasn't very happy about that. So, unfortunately, we seem to be in this appalling position that the Labour groups and the backbenchers are actually run by the Cabinet. And you have this tight cabal of people who have some kind of hold because they've been around a bit longer. And they've got all this mechanism of the Constitution and the Standards Committee, and they bully people. And some of my colleagues are a bit better than others, but they don't want to raise their hands over the parapet like me. And they've been threatened. You know, if you do this, we will haul you in front of the Standards Committee, and and there'll be all sorts of threats. And that is the state of local democracy in the local borough of Barking and Dagenham. And I'm sure there are many more places like that, but obviously the real problem is the local Labour parties and the iron hold they have on their councils and local democracy.
Bring you back in very, very briefly.
First thing you want to say is we're sitting in a semicircle talking pretty much like a council. I personally think we should be sitting in a circle and discussing what are we going to do collectively.
Christian Clark, on the Pilgrims people amongst other things. We certainly go back years. 30 odd years ago I was a squatter when I first came to London. And we squatted 8 or 9 years. Now in that period, the evictions, it was 3 a year we used to get on the council estates. Now there was one break in this. This was when the uprising in 1981, what was generally known as the riots in the summer of 1981, which I took part in myself. Now, for those of you who weren't about at the time, the scale of this, it was every urban area in England. There was one night 1,200 coppers got put in the A&E, and enough for violence and unnecessary. But it wasn't just about housing, it was against everything that woman was and stood for. No, that's what was the cause of the whole thing. Anyway, the bailiffs tried, after that period, the bailiffs tried to make the evictions and couldn't do it, because no coppers would come out onto the estate with them in case it kicked off again. And if it kicked off, I lived in a White City at the time, if it kicked off there, it would be in Notting Hill, it would be in Brixton, it would be, if it was in London, it would be running up and down the country. They were so scared. A fight back. And there was lots of things in that period, especially violent things that happened, which I did not support and I certainly don't now. But it goes to show that they can be knocked back on a thing like this. And one last point, back to the first speaker. I do believe if the union could sort of knock out some coherent policy as regards rents, especially for the private rents, when I hear them on the radio last week, some Tory minister complaining about how huge housing benefit is. Well, the one next to me in Islington I live, was close to 260 quid a week. My rent is 96, it's a council one. The exact same house right now was 260. Now why can't they carpet out housing, top housing let plus 20%. Plus, I mean, it's also got to remember, for how many years, is it 30 years that the rising council rents has been, what is it, inflation plus 2.3? Now that's why the housing benefit bill has blown up over that period. I mean, the union should bring something in, because I mean, you've got the resources to do it.
Thank you. Right, I've got